It's just a pawn shop rescue with rusted strings. It barely stays in tune, but man, it sings. And it's a blank sheet of paper waiting on ink, and some line in your head you got from a wake you up dream. But with just 12 notes and 26 letters, depending on how you put them all together, to make somebody dance, make somebody
Welcome back
smile,
to the Sunday Songwriters Podcast for another episode. This week I am on with, actually Eric Erdman is on with us to talk about an upcoming, he's coming back to the Spirit Room. So Eric's made a couple trips to the Spirit Room, and he's familiar with the audience, familiar with the room, and we are excited to have him back. This time he's going to be with Ben Gage, coming back in March this time, which Eric actually introduced me to Ben Gage, and which is how Ben Gage ended up in the Spirit Room. And it's been a very tangled web of connections since then. So Eric, thanks for taking the time to sit down and talk with me, man. It's always good to talk to you. Always good to see you.
The feeling is mutual. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Right on.
I love the Spirit Room. Every time I've been up there, it's been really cool. In addition to just being, like, can't be more hospitable and great. I just think that room is something special that you've made there. Anytime I say the room is special, like the Bluebird as a room isn't special. It's the community and the idea of the people that, or Eddie Zach or all the premier songwriter venues, and you've made one, and I think that's really cool and exceedingly rare these days.
Yeah, it's the people who have come around and then continued coming back. I was joking earlier when I was talking to Grady Spencer that has become kind of a congregation, and we joke about being a congregation on Sunday afternoons. But that was the goal, was to create that kindred spirit of being there for you, right, as an artist, and you guys do your best work when I think when you have that kind of space. So it is special. We're thankful for you guys who are on the road out there putting the hours in, and putting the sweat and all the frustrations of being on the road to come and share an hour and a half of music with us, man. We're appreciative of it. So
Just so you know, we spend the hours on the road slagging out in other venues that aren't as hospitable for the reward of playing a place like the Spirit Room, and that's I'm not just pandering to you. That's the truth.
so Eric, you are from Alabama. You're in Alabama now?
I am. I just got back from a New Year's Eve thing in South Padre, Texas, and I'm headed to Nokomis, Florida, south of Sarasota, on Wednesday or Thursday.
Is that 30? Is 38 this week coming up?
No, that's in the Panhandle,
Oh,
but it
okay.
might be. I think it might. I think it's next week, maybe.
Maybe the next
I've
couple of
played that.
weeks.
I played that like 3 or 4 times, but it's been a while. I love
Okay.
That's a great songwriter festival for sure. One of the
So
best in the country.
Texas, back from Texas through Alabama down to Florida. Uh,
Yeah, not the best routing, but
so I've come to learn that you burn up the road, man. You're constantly out there, behind the wheel. And what's been you just wrapped up the whole 2025 in that spirit. What was some of the coolest things you saw? Where was the coolest places you got to see in 25? I know it was a lot.
25 was it was a good year for song right for my songs, I should say. 'Cause this is all I've ever done. My entire adult life have been, and most of my adolescence has been songwriting. But um, the vast majority of my income, even though I've always considered myself a songwriter that plays gigs and that releases music, it's like the end goal of this is not me to be some household name as an artist. It's like to have songs. I also love to record and play live, so I'm hopefully always able to do that. But it's like that's not really the bigger picture goal. And 2025 was the biggest change of that to getting it where like I feel like I've been aiming at the whole time, where like songs started like the song I've written a bunch of songs with the Red Clay Strays, but one is like, you know, the record went gold, and they're like, that song is approaching gold and will be there within a matter of months. And it's like, that's huge. I've never had a gold record before. And then they were like, and also they're going to use it in the Road on CBS just used it in their episode. So it's like with the movement of that, you know, that song specifically, or those songs with them, just other people have cut songs that I've written, and now, you know, none of them have gone to that level, but I can feel like there's an uptick in like how many, you know, artists are recording the song. So that it's just been it was a very rewarding year for me, just to kind of, you know, see the needle move toward where I have been wanting it to forever, where it's like, sure, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing gigs or stop writing. Like, I've never understood when people are like, all you gotta do is get that one big song, then you can sit at home all day. I'm like, that's the last thing I would ever do. Like, getting the one big song is gonna let me make more music, you know what I mean? So it's like, anyway, it's opened some doors for me, so it's an exciting time for that. But as far as gigs, I played a bunch of cool gigs. Went to Belize for the first time. Mexico a couple times, all over America. It's just, you know, just a good time.
So you talked about the Red Clay Strays. So you got to get in the gold record. That's not, you mentioned that's not the end game, right? I'm not going to get that. If I could just get one, I've said it hundreds of times. If I could just get one, right. It doesn't end there. It starts there, or it doesn't necessarily start there. That's just a milestone. And then what are you thinking now? Or do you have any idea? Like, you just keep on keeping on, just with a little more resources.
I understand where people come. Well, why that's like a trope that we all are familiar with, because you got to realize most people's job is something they toil through with the hoping of getting to the end of it. Whereas that's not, at least for me, that's not what music is. It's like, I just want to make, like, it's my hobby and my joy and my, you know, it's everything. So I'm trying to do it. The reward would be more of it, you know what I mean? Like, not less of it. And so yeah, I mean, and also money and fame that's not ever been the goal either. It's just like making music you're proud of and having people relate to it. Now I understand if 100 million people relate to your song, there's some money that comes along with it. Of course, I will accept that, and I will happily, you know, finally be able to pay my mortgage payment without having to borrow from something else. But that's not the goal. That's not the point. And it's like, if that's really what you're in it for, I feel like, you know, those things. I'm not saying that a gold record doesn't make you feel good or feel like you did something right. I mean, of course it does. But, you know, also some of my favorite songwriters and favorite songs I've ever heard, I don't have a gold record and never will get it. So it's like, my valuation is not really based on that. Does it feel good? Of course it does. Like, you know, it's good for the resume. So now, instead of just being like, come listen to Eric, this guy you don't know, he's got good songs, trust me. It's like, well, his songs have been on this. So it's like, well, then, you know, sometimes people need that, unfortunately. But again, it's not really to me, it's not the be all end all or like the reason to make music, you know.
So you mentioned you've been doing this since you were in adolescence, so your whole life. How much time? One of the things I admire about watching your social media, talking to you, seeing you on stage, is I have this perception that you write an incredible amount. Like, you're always writing. That's what I perceive. I don't know. I'm not there every day, but it seems like, just like the Major League Football players play football, they always have a football in their hand. You likely always have a guitar in your hand, or you always have a pen or whatever it is you use to catalog lyrics. Is that the case? Is it?
That's very accurate. I mean, to a ridiculous amount. Like, you know, like, hey, why don't you do something else for once? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I mean, and I just love it, and I want to get better, and I learn from everybody that I write with, and it's like, so I'm like, ooh, I want to try out this new thing and try out this new thing, and it's funny that some of my buddies have this weird, non-accurate myth that like, oh, Eric just write a song walking through the parking lot. It's like that's actually not the case at all. I would probably average 5 or 6 hours on a song if I had to guess. Like, they're all different. Sometimes they are easier than others, but I'm working on songs as long as I'm conscious. You know what I mean? So what that means is I'll get up in the morning and start sifting back through these ideas that were exciting to me, and usually one will kick back and I can't get anywhere on it, and I'll just go to the next thing and mess around with it. But if I mess around with all of the ideas that are kind of half growing, something will click, and I'll be able to add 1 line, 2 lines of some music that's like, oh, well, this could go here for the bridge or whatever the case may be. Well, then that's exciting because it's something new that you're so I'm just chiseling. So there might be 5, 6, 10 ideas all just sitting in a state of unfinished that I'm able to like chisel a couple lines here and there. Now, if I have a songwriting session, you don't have the freedom to do that. You got to kind of buckle down and
crank it out.
If I only have you for 3 hours, we're going to try to get a song in that 3 hours. But honestly, I don't even think maybe 60, 70% of the time we're done with the song by then. We get something really solid that we can know is a signature fingerprint that we know what that song sounds like, so that when I'm driving down the road, I could be singing it to myself and then go, oh man, I think I got the second verse. What if it's this? Like, to me, that's a successful co-write. We don't have to finish anything, but we need to get the idea that we're aiming at down strong enough. Hopefully also with the melody of, whatever verse, chorus, if that's what we're doing. Yeah. So that when we split up and I call you in a month and go, you remember that? What if that third line of the chorus did that? Because I've been thinking on it. If it doesn't have enough fingerprint to it, or whatever you want to call it, to where you can hum it to yourself, well, then that's kind of a problem, because you're not going to be able to edit or revisit it.
Nobody else.
Yeah. Well, I just mean, like, it's not, if it hasn't been fleshed out enough to even have that, then it's almost like you got to start over next time you get together, and that happens sometimes. But yeah. I try to make that not happen. So that.
Do you catalog things digitally? Is that just kind of snippets?
Most everything's in my phone, voice memos, and on Google Docs or whatever.
Another thing I was thinking about a couple weeks ago that I've never really talked to anybody about. I don't play that much anymore. But I did get up and play a few songs to open a show, the last show we had in the Spirit Room in the series, and I noticed that I played a song I'd written 20 years ago, and it came out completely different than I've ever heard it in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had not rehearsed it that way. Do you find that songs, that your stuff evolves over time, and then it's one night you do something and go, no, that's not how it goes, but it will from now on. Do you know what I mean?
For sure. That's the interesting thing. I do think, like, once I've gotten it to a point, it stops evolving. But I heard Jackson Browne say one time, they were saying, if there's anything you could do differently in your career, what would you do? And this is to an extreme, but he was like, I would never record a song until I played it live for a year first. I was like, that's a lot. That's going like maybe, 10 or 15 times. He's talking about a year of playing the song. But I realized the point of what he's saying, and I didn't appreciate this until fairly recently, but like, yes, the songs are going to grow and evolve and hit you, and they're a moving thing. So any album you've ever heard was it's like a still frame of a movie. You see, it's like, yeah, that's beautiful and great. It's like, well, why do when you play it live, it sounds different? Well, it's like, well, because that song grew and twisted and changed, since then. If I recorded it again, it wouldn't sound like that. But I also know that, sometimes after the evolution, I hope that it settles into a thing where it's kind of for me anyway, where I feel like I know the essence of that song, and then, it's pretty close
Yeah,
to it.
it is what it is.
It is what it is forever, but
I
they do change over time for sure.
I've felt like before I listen. I mean, I've tried. I write. I'm not gonna say I'm a good writer, but I'm very passionate about it. So I listen very intensely, and that sometimes that ruins music for me. But that's a whole other conversation. But
Yeah.
before I have noticed, I've listened to songs on an album and thought that song never saw the light of day. It came right out of the studio into that microphone, and it never got worked on the stage. And it just kind of feels that way. It doesn't have. I don't feel like it. Sometimes it's fine, but other times I feel like it never breathed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And it's interesting to be on the other side and be able to feel that and see that, I guess. And I don't know how, some artists are great at it. They can just sit down in the room and crank it out. I heard Charlie Starr talking on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and he was saying, I went in the studio with 5 songs, and they're like, "Where's everything else?" So we had to write them, right?
Right. Well, yeah. There's lots of those stories too, where the A&R, the label people are like, "This album's great, but we don't have a single," and they spent 3 years writing and working up those other songs, and then they wrote one, the day they recorded it, and that becomes a single. Sometimes that maybe those are the best songs, but sometimes there's also that gets into a weird fuzzy realm because that's also the one they're going to put $500,000 in promoting,
Right.
so it's going to be a single because they put, what I mean? It's like, was that the best song, or was it just the one that you saw the video for 100 times and therefore you liked it? Anyway, that's like another topic. Let me tell you a story though. Which made me, I mean, I love Chris Christopherson, like all of us, like he's like the genius Mount Rushmore guy. But when I was living in Muscle Shoals, I was working with Bob Ray, who's a bass player who's played on everything. He's on Seven Spanish Angels and Family Tradition and all these huge things. But Bob's amazing, funky, great musician and human. But he was telling stories about when he was Christopherson's bass player for like a tour or two, and he was like, we would go out for sound check and we would check with me and Bobby McGee, but he was like, it just seemed weird to me because I was like, typically an artist like that, like they'll check some relatively big song, but they've played their big iconic biggest song so many thousand times that what we were talking about, that's already found its groove. It ain't changing anymore. So let's play the newest one, work on that one, or play something else. He was like, every night we'd play Bobby McGee for sound check, which I thought was a weird call, but it was also weird because he would be like, hey, let's do it up like 5 beats a minute tonight, and like maybe put a little straight hi-hat on or whatever. So they play it that way, and then the next night they go, hey, let's slow it down and kind of give it a funky groovy feel. And he's like, okay. And he was like, I was like, why are we doing this? And he's like, then about 100 gigs in, I realized Chris Christopherson is still working on me and Bobby McGee in his head trying to get it right. And I was like, I don't like, part of me, it makes me respect him so much that he's like wants it to be so great that he's like, I'm gonna keep crafting this till the bitter end. And then part of me is like, you're insane. Like once Janis Joplin has done that's locked in eternity as the perfection. We're all just trying to emulate that, But I did, to the point of your earlier question, like that's an extreme example of never calling it done.
Never the same way. Never the same way twice.
Yeah, like maybe it could be better if it was like a disco song. You know what I mean? Like just trying everything. Like I mean, it's good like it is, but maybe I could just fix this side of it over here. It's like mad scientist.
I've played drum set in bands in jam bands that were about the live experience, right? This is never going to be. We have a structure, we had a melody. I mean, but the whole goal was like it's never going to be exactly the same way twice. But if I were behind the microphone and singing and playing guitar, I don't think my anxiety would be able to handle that. Drum set, I can do that all day long, right? Because I'm driving. I got the steering wheel, and I can say, "Oh, we're going this way."
Yeah.
But from the microphone, I've never felt like that would be a comfortable place to be. I'd want it to be, all right, we're going A, B, C, and D.
To your point earlier, so I think it might be genre dependent because the people that love, if you've ever had any sort of love for jammy band. You like the Allman Brothers or anybody, or Fish, or everybody that's come, in that. If you've ever really enjoyed them, they're never going to play it the same twice, because that would take the life out of it. That's the thing. But but if you really love a pop rock, if you go see Billy Joel, you probably want him to play, My Life Kind of Like You Know It. You know what I mean? Like,
want to be able to.
I'm not saying he's not allowed to jam, but like it's a different experience, I think.
I think Zach Brown Band's probably found the middle ground in that.
Yep. That's perfect. You're perfectly right.
And
yeah,
like I'm here. I'm going to sing along. I know this is how it's going to go. And oh wait, now they're going over here where Clay Cook's taking this crazy organ solo or whatever, and now we're back.
You're absolutely right. And there's not many bands I could think of that do that. Like, we're going to make it a jam experience like you've never heard, which also gives you reason to go back and see concert night after night after night, because they're never going to be the same, but not so warped and distorted that the person that just, hey, I like your album, I want to sing along. Like, there's going to be extended moments where it gets weird, but for the most part, it'll feel like the record.
All right. So we started off talking about you, you're in Texas, you're headed to Florida. What else you got coming in 2026? You're going to be here in Mansfield at the Spirit Room on March 29th with Ben Gage of the Sunday Songwriter Series. And I said it earlier, but this will be your third visit. So you came in with Charlie Argo, and then you swung through when Matt Rogers was in town and hung out. Yeah. And we're excited to get you back. I've had multiple people.
I'll come there anytime you have a spot for me. I love it. But yeah, other gigs. I'm leaving. I play Florida this week, then house concert in Georgia, and then Nashville writing for a week, and then Belize for an event, and then there's something at the beginning of February. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but a couple more events like first week of February, and then doing this cool thing with Tom Shepard and Coley McCabe in Lake Conroe, Texas, it's around Valentine's Day, so it's called Love Letters. So we got a bunch of us. I guess I might have to polish up all my love songs. I'll retire all my breakup songs for 1 week, I
guess. So having said that, what's your favorite topic to write about, or is it random?
What's funny is there's another group of people that think, man, Eric's had it rough. All he has is all these breakup songs. But it's like, I've written 1,200 songs or something. So it's like, I have a ton of songs that are just like, I love you, and it's great. But the ones that, at least so many of the ones that are breakup songs, or like You Did Me Wrong, or the fan favorites requested, there might be 10 of them in a set and only 2 love songs. So they're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, in my whole, I feel like I write about everything. But, it's not my fault that the fans keep requesting, they want to hear the breakup song. You got the right guy, but you got the wrong number. Things like that, those kind of songs. And I think maybe this is just overanalyzing, like you were saying earlier, but I'm more of a happy, romantic, like, kind of guy. That's it. But what I realize is, from teaching songwriting and being in it and being a student of songwriting so much, that it's like I feel like the songs that really hit hardest are the ones that are more focused. And I'm not saying you can't write a song that's like Love Is Wonderful. There have been a bunch of them. But for me, whatever low skill level I have to be able to create something that impacts people, it's like the more focused the idea presents itself, the more I can hammer it to where it relates to somebody. And if you're just in love and everything feels good, it's more of a like life is good, vague happiness. But when you're like, oh shit, everything went wrong, I came home and something bad happened, and now all my clothes are out in the front yard, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's a moment in time. So it already like inherently is more specific. So if you can just write that story, it like tends to have more tread on the tire. It's not that there's anything wrong with writing Love Is Great. It can fall off into vagary so bad that I can't bring it home as well. So it's like, I don't think it's necessarily that people just want to hear me heartbroken. I hope.
I you have a certain characteristic of wit in there too, that I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's the way you craft your words that may be telling that story of heartbreak, but it's like, hey man, when I listen to some of it, it's like, I know you're in this with me because you've been through something very similar, and I
Yeah,
think
I mean
it's
that's true. I have some that are like my heart aches. Again, those aren't the ones that typically get requested the most. It's the ones where I'm just like, yeah, I'm brokenhearted, but I'm gonna make the best of it. So
right.
here's a little, be fun. Just say something, sure, brokenhearted again. Here we go. Then like people are like, yeah, go get them. I guess there's that kind of, but those are the ones that tend to get more attention. And like I said, I love, there's tons of songs I love that aren't crowd favorites, but if I'm playing a live performance, I'm playing for a crowd. I should
Right.
play the ones that I've done the research on that seem to resonate best.
Awesome. Well, we're running short on time here. I don't want to keep it
Okay.
too long.
Oh,
Um, I am excited to have you back. Can't wait to see you again.
yeah,
And
man, likewise.
like I
Why don't
said,
we write a song while I'm in town this time?
we should do that. We should make that happen. Uh, we got the spot to do it. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna make that happen. I need to get the knock the rust off anyway. When I stopped playing live as much, then it's not the exercise isn't there, right? It's not as
Well, I feel like that's the place to see how it ended up. So it's like if you don't have that to be like, I want to finish the song because I got this gig Friday I want to play for everybody.
yeah.
It puts a little fire under you. But whereas like if you're like, I'll just write this song whenever.
I got some stuff in the works. It's been very slowly happening. So maybe by the time you guys get here, I can try something out.
There's nothing wrong with slow.
I don't have a lot of patience. So
Well,
I think that's part of the problem with me and songwriting is I'll get it, I'll get it to the 60-yard line and then I can't get 60 yards. I'll get it 60 yards to the 40-yard line and then I
yeah.
can't get it to the end zone. Uh, but I don't know. I will. I keep working at it, and hopefully, I'll
Well,
have some.
just remember Chris Christopherson, man. Like just give it some time. Like tomorrow, just kind of work on it a little bit more.
Yeah. Uh, or maybe I should just start every single day. That I tried that for a while. Get up, coffee, right. Get up, coffee, right.
There
Um,
is something about the old saying when they're like it's like a muscle and you work it out and you got it. I mean, because I'd start itching. Like if I just got up and it's not that I can't just enjoy myself and do something else, but if it goes a couple days in a row, eventually something's gonna be like, wait, like it's just a compulsion. You know what I mean? It's like it's a habit that you've told your mind you're gonna write.
yeah.
So it's like then you don't get writer's block. Your mind is expecting to try to create anyway, for better or worse.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, runners. I got addicted to running for a while,
Yeah,
and
same thing.
if I didn't do it, like my brain was going, wait a minute, what are we doing? Why haven't we gone and done that thing?
Yeah.
So
Um,
awesome. We good?
yeah,
What were you gonna say?
yeah. I was just gonna say that's what the Fresh Song Friday series. I only did that as a way to be like I just recorded an album and I have a stack of songs that I love. I hate for them to just go nowhere ever. At least I'll put them on YouTube, and if 10 people want to hear it, fine, And then I started it, and I thought it was gonna go a couple months, and that was 2025 was 7 years. So this is the eighth year we just started. So 365, weeks in a row release a song. Obviously, all of them are not banger. All of them are not, Billboard number ones. But I still kind of love them all, like to a point. I love them all, or I wouldn't put them out there. You know what I mean? So having that goal post or that goal line to, you know,
Yeah.
it, it it doesn't push me hard. It's not like some kind of thing that's heavy burden that I have to get to, but I am aware of it. So I think that also adds to the well, you got to write some more because there's Friday's coming. Write another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, so if you haven't checked out, if you don't follow Eric Erdman on Facebook, you should. Fresh Song Friday. Eric puts out a song every Friday, and I found out about that a year and a half ago. And it's one of the things I do every Friday is I take
Oh, cool.
take
Very
that
cool.
4 minutes, and it's kind of a mental thing for me, man. Like all right, we're gonna stop, we're gonna do this.
Well, that's
Uh,
cool, man. Thank
so
you. Means a
I
lot.
appreciate of you doing that, because it gives me a minute to just stop, you know. I have a real job during the day and I'm trying to cram that stuff in.
Yeah.
And on the end of the week there, and when that pops up, I'm like, yep, I'm going to take those 3.5, 4 minutes.
All right. Well, my goal when I come back to Mansfield is to make a Fresh on Friday with you.
Let's do it.
We'll write it. Or we can discuss beforehand, have it written, and then play it together when I get there. I don't know. Well, either way, either one of those is acceptable.
Let's do it. I've got some ideas. I'll send.
Right.
I'll text you.
Throw them at me.
Awesome. Now I have a bookend. I've got 6 weeks or whatever, 8 weeks, whatever it is to get something done.
Let's do
it. Awesome. Eric, it's always good to talk to you. And obviously no structure. We didn't need it, man. I told Eric before we started recording here that the audience is going to listen to us hang out for 30 minutes. And I think that's what we've done.
Pretty much.
All right. March 29th, Eric Erdman, Ben Gage, back in the Spirit Room for the Sunday Songwriter Series. Follow Valley Media and Productions on Facebook. You can find your tickets on Eventbrite. And we're excited to see you guys back in the Spirit Room.
Yeah, man. Can't wait.
All right, Eric. Have a great week, man. Thank you.
All right, you too. Thank you.
In your head you got from a wake you up dream. But with just 12 notes and 26 letters, depending on how you put them all together, could make somebody dance, make somebody smile, take their mind off life for a little while, start a revolution that'll change the world. If you get it right, you can get the girl. Turn 3 minutes into something that'll last forever. With just 12 notes and 26 letters. Now when you think about everything Bob Dylan ever said, and what Lennon and McCartney did to your heart and your head, ain't it crazy how right now there's some talent show kid about to say it in a way that nobody else ever did. With just